Sorry, my French is not very good. I will speak in English. Good morning, dear colleagues. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the International Atomic Energy Agency, on behalf of the Atomic Energy Agency, I would like to express my sincere appreciations to colleagues from French Nuclear Energy Society for organizing this convention. As Mr. Minier and Mr. Chevet presented, plant life management today is one of key direction in nuclear power. But I would like to start from statistics. You see now we have 435 reactors in operation, 372 gigawatt electrical gigawatt from 30 member states and 72 reactors under construction. I would like to underline then US and France totally have more than 30% of all reactor fleet, and the plant life management program is very important, namely for your country and for US, and we as agency are expecting to receive good information and lessons learned from your program. If taken into account age of operating reactors on February of this year, I can underline that approximately 80% of reactors have been in service 20 years, more than 20 years, and 50%, namely 235 units, more than 29 years operations. So really many member states have given high priority to operate long-term than the time frame originally anticipated, or 30 or 40 years old. Somewhat about construction. This is last 10 years history of new construction starts. You can see that now we have 72 new reactors under construction. This is the highest number since 1989. As in previous years, expansion as well as near and long-term growth prospects remain centered in Asia, particularly in China. Of the total number of reactors under construction, 48 units construction come from Asia. Before Fukushima accident, the number of construction units were rapidly increased to 16 units. Construction starts in 2010, but you see, after Fukushima, we have some drop, but we can observe the growth during last 3 years. Of course, there is big effect of Fukushima accident, but our analytics underline that it is not only one key effect. Of course, some effect of expected long-term drop of gas price and effect of financial and economic crisis. If taken into account energy availability factor, it has continuously increased since 1990s, but the trends was reversed during last 3 years. It is mainly by Fukushima accident impact. First of all, 50 units in Japan were shut down. And for preparation of long-term operation, utilities need a long outage time to replace heavy components and refurbishment works. That is also effect to energy availability factor. And after safety confirmation, through stress tests, some operators needed to upgrade systems and components. So here I would like to underline that the program of plant life management also has some effect on current situation in nuclear power. From our point of view, agency point of view, the nuclear plant life management for long-term operation is so named bridge to new nuclear power plant constructions. Through a plant life management program, the existing nuclear power plant will be safely operated before coming new nuclear power plant operation. And plant life management can be defined in one long sentence as the integration of aging and economic planning for purpose of maintaining a high level of safety and optimize plant performance by successfully dealing with extended life aging issues, maintenance prioritization, periodic safety reviews, education and training. Of course, we have information and communication with all operators, with all countries, and we can consider that each country, we can underline that each country has own life management policy and approach. A model followed in the US and some of member states based on the license renewal application concept, in which the regulator issues operating licenses for up to 40 years. Beyond the 40 years limit, licensing can be renewed for an additional period to a maximum of 20 years for each renewal application. Another licensing model based on periodic safety review process used primarily in Europe and Korea and India. In this model, nuclear power plant operating license is virtually unlimited on the condition that the nuclear power plant undergoes a standardized periodic safety review to confirm that it continues to meet its licensing term and environmental conditions. You can find 20 years, 10 years, 5 years long-term operation, then design lifetime according to country conditions. The main plant life management program objectives in our agency. Plant life management is the integration of aging and economic planning to maintain a high level of safety, optimize the operation, maintenance and service life of different components, maintain an acceptable level of performance, maximize return on investment other the service life of the nuclear power plant, and provide nuclear power plant utilities or owners with the optimum preconditions for long-term operation. The IAEA supports operation, maintenance, economic material degradation studies through plant life management program. IAEA published safety guide on periodic safety review in 2003 and updated last year, taking into account lessons from Fukushima accident and lessons learned from experience of last 10 years. A safety guide on periodic safety review is it's focused on confirm whether the adequate arrangements are in place to maintain plant safety, evaluate safety margin to safe operation in next 10 years, suggest corrective action to enhance the plant safety. And PSR has 14 safety factors to check and confirm safety for the next 10 years operation. Basic structure for plant life management activities in IAEA. This slide shows the basic structure of our activity on this program. And agency has developed the safety guide, requirement, guidelines, and database according to the member states' needs. The guidelines are classified in two groups: programmatic guidelines, more other view, and component-specific guidelines and more component basis. Maintenance optimization, outage management, instrumentation and control modernization using digital and I&C system. You can see a number of our directions here. And recently, the agency completed to develop a database for international generic aging lessons learned, IGALL. So this database includes a lot of information related components of nuclear power plant. Of course, we have very intensive informational exchange, and we periodically organize international conference on plant life management. First and second conferences were held in 2002 in Budapest and in October 2007 in Shanghai. The third conference was held in Salt Lake City 2 years ago. In third conference in Salt Lake City, the participants and presentations were significantly larger than during the two first conferences in Budapest and Shanghai. This is a clear indication of the growing importance of the plant life management, especially after the severe accident at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Other 350 participants are officially registered from 34 countries and 3 international organizations. The conference proceedings can be downloaded from the agency website. Of course, the agency, my colleague from Nuclear Safety Department, pay attention to safety aspects for long-term operation. To review safety aspect for long-term operation, agency developed the service so-called SALTO peer review mission, safety aspect for long-term operations. AIEA already did many reactors like Paks nuclear power plant in Hungary, Dukovany in Czech Republic, Borsel in Netherlands, Koberg nuclear power plant in South Africa, and South Ukraine nuclear power plant. The SALTO missions is divided into 6 modules. You can see here these models, and based on member states' request, the agency provide full scope or limited scope service on SALTO peer review. Of course, I should mention our agency action plan on nuclear safety, and you know, just after Fukushima accident, our member states prepared and accepted action plan on nuclear safety, and this plan includes 2 action topics. One of them is to strengthening the effectiveness of operating organization with respect to nuclear safety. The AIEA provide assistance to member states to ensure improvement is necessary of management system, safety culture, human resource management, and scientific and technical capacity in operating organizations upon request. And of course, some subject-related long-term operations also included in our activity. To meet the nuclear safety action plan. The agency organized Nuclear Operator Organization Forum in 2011, 12, and 13 during our general conference in September. We invited top-level managers from operating organization and discussed the issues. This slide shows the forum held in 2011 and invited from Foratom, Japan Atomic Energy Commission, from Rosenergatom, and energy company from US. You can find forum recommendation from this slide, and of course this activity also are included in our activity in frame of action plan. Of course, the agency works in the frame of, on the base of our status, and we have different instruments for collection of information and sharing of best practice through our member states. And of course, we have cooperation with other international organizations, and we have close relations with OECD, NEA, GRC, ECGRC. AIEA participated in meetings to develop the guidelines, technical proceedings, and organize technical meeting jointly. Also, AIEA has the practical arrangement with Joint Research Center of European Commission to minimize the duplication works and improve synergy effects. Now we try to work with all international organizations, namely try to minimize the duplication. Of course, the agency, it is one of key place for storage of all technical documents and information, and our technical document safety requirements are classified according to taxonomy, and it is easy to access and put the, it is possible to find in our website. You can easily download the AIEA documents from our agency website. So, AIEA will continuously support operating nuclear power plants, taking into account long-term operation programs. We will support expansion of nuclear power programs. And newcomers, it is also one of our priority, newcomers, and we will support them to operate nuclear power plant safely and effectively to improve human life and reduce the poverty. And it was a small overview of our activity and tendency of our work. Thank you very much. And I'm ready to answer on your questions.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Maybe I have one. What is your view of a French process and program? What is your view of a French process and program?
I can say that French nuclear program is one of key reference standards for our activity, and we try to share French experience between our member states, and thank you very much for all French specialists who are involved in our activity. And so, of course, not only in technical part and regulatory part, we also have big input from French side. And I think it is really true that France is one of this country which really really demonstrated very good example for our member states. But we work here only as provider of your good experience to newcomer countries and countries with expanded nuclear program. Thank you.